Well, it's 30 minutes later than we anticipated, but as you can see here, back at 5:45, a little while back, there was a bit of precipitation in Richmond, Virginia, but we're ready to get underway between the Richmond Kickers and South Georgia Tormenta FC, presented by U-Crops. Welcome one and all to the broadcast. My name is Mark Schoenster, excited to bring you the action here as we get week 24 started. Here's a look at the standings. Richmond with 3 points would sit at the top of the table temporarily. It is only Wednesday though. All these teams pretty much get to play in these next few days, so they need to get there though if they want to sit on the top at the end of the week. Meanwhile, Tormenta just trying to stay above that playoff line, and one thing they'll need to do is stop Jonathan Bolaños. Pretty easy guy to highlight every single week given his propensity to assist and to score goals himself, but he is such a menace slipping behind players on that left-hand side, and that could end up being a key against this Tormenta side that loves to attack forward. Darren Sawatsky highlighted that tucking behind with those wingers on the outside could prove to be crucial, and no one's better at it in the league than Jonathan Bolaños. Meanwhile, on the Tormenta side of things, being on the road for most teams is usually a condemning factor, but for Tormenta, it's been a propellant. They have just been road warriors all season long. You would think that being at home would be better for you, but it seems like when you look at the numbers, give these guys the match on the road. They'll take it. It's in their DNA. That's what Ian Cameron said. They'll take on anybody, anywhere, and they'll be ready to give it their all. And they'll have to give it their all along with Richmond here in the precipitation. The fans have come out either way despite the rain. And we'll be here in just a moment on the other side of this break with lineups and kickoff on ESPN+.
We would not have a business today if it weren't for the support of the many, many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the U-Crops brand stands for.
Hi, I'm Megan Mack, President of Prospect Blue.
And I'm Jess Barnes, Director of Business Development at Prospect Blue.
Prospect Blue is a staffing and recruiting firm headquartered right here in Richmond, Virginia. We serve the Mid-Atlantic region and beyond.
With the labor market experiencing historic shortages, Prospect Blue is here to help companies attract and retain key talent.
With strong relationships in the corporate, financial, legal, and medical fields, we are in a unique position to connect employers with job seekers. Whether you are a candidate seeking a new career opportunity or a company searching for talent, Prospect Blue will help you ensure that today's transitions lead to growth and success.
Prospect Blue is proud to be a corporate sponsor of the Richmond Kickers.
Go Kickers!
We're just moments away from kicking this one off for the second time this season between the Kickers and Tormenta, presented by Richmond Times-Dispatch. Welcome one and all to the broadcast. Once again, my name is Mark Schoenster. If it's anything like the first game, we're in for a good time. And if you need a recap, I can't blame you. The last time they played was June 4th. So it's been a couple months since they played each other. It was an exciting 2-2 draw with goals from Barry Sharifi, Adrian Billhart for Tormenta, and Stuart Ritchie and Jalen Crisler, two members of the back line for the Richmond Kickers, scoring to make it a 2-2 draw. Both coaches said it was a great, well-fought game after the fact when they were talking about that match a couple months ago. And as we see here, Keziah Sterling had 2 assists in the match, and they'll be looking for a similar impact from him and Adrian Billhart on the Tormenta side. Meanwhile, I would imagine Stuart Ritchie and Jalen Crisler aren't going to be asked to score goals, especially with guys like Bolaños and Terzaghi up top. As we look at their lineups, brought to you by Surf Pro. Pretty much your typical fashion for Darren Sawatsky's side. They've got their tried and true method, and they've also got their tried and true keeper, Akira Fitzgerald. A week and a half ago, made some great saves in a 3-0 victory over Omaha. If he was not able to make those early in the match, they could be looking at a very different result against the Owls back then. As we now see Ian Cameron's side of things, also rocking the 4-3-3. Adrian Billhart, the top, the spearhead of the formation. We'll see how he does after some break. TJ Bush, quite opposite of Akira Fitzgerald as far as experience is concerned. Akira's been around the block. TJ Bush has only played 4 League One games, but has gotten 3 clean sheets. So it's been all good for TJ Bush thus far. But polar opposite ends of the experience spectrum between Akira Fitzgerald and TJ Bush, but I think both of them will have their hands full tonight with some of the firepower that Tormenta and Richmond have at their disposal. It'll be Tormenta going left to right, Richmond right to left, donning their classic green kits today. A little bit of weather won't scare off a lot of the Richmond faithful. You can hear the drumming, you can see them here. It's Tormenta and Richmond to start off week 24. Let's get this going. I think we're in for an exciting match. These are two teams that love to bring on the entertainment factor. Catherine McCormick is our head official for this evening's action. And if you're tuning in, not a familiar fan with League One, but just needed something before that Open Cup final later tonight, I also welcome you in. I think you have made a wise decision, as there's Jonathan Bolaños slipping behind. Cuts inside, squares it across the middle, and that one's gonna go out of play. We're gonna get a corner kick under a minute into this one. Well, it didn't take too long for it as we see this long ball all the way across the pitch. The vision and the run made by Jonathan Bolaños. That is not the last time we're gonna see that tonight. As we get this Nash painting and fireproofing corner kick. Ethan Bryant curls this one in, scuffles about, could get served back in by Terzaghi. He does so. And the header is nowhere near target by Ani, but still in there. Terzaghi rifling in the middle, didn't get very far. It'll be a Richmond throw. Let's look at our Bonsecourt injury report. Kingsford Ajay was teetering on the verge of availability. Ian Cameron said that he's going to play it safe and hold him. They have to play on Saturday as well. Richmond don't have that issue, so would rather have him up and ready to go against the hailstorm. Outside of that, those were decisionless outs for Tormenta and Richmond. Richmond haven't played in a week and a half. Last time they were out was against Union Omaha in a 3-0 victory. A huge result for them. At the time, we saw them go to the top of the table, but in League One, if you're not playing soccer for a week and a half, you're not going to sit in your spot for very long. Talking to Darren Sawatsky, the head coach for Richmond, he said the break itself was good. Some players were given some time off to recover. And as you saw by the injury report, just Austin Causey, who is unavailable. Talked about how weird their schedule is coming up, Darren, or it has been, as Billhart enters into the 18. Adrian Billhart with the stutter, still holding on to it. Give it out to Mukwele Akale. Now Cabral. Takes a shove and stops engaging with the ball, expecting a whistle. He will not get it. Here's Nembard. To Sterling. He veers about. Ends up getting dispossessed by Zach Moran as he knocks it out of his possession for Ethan Bryant to collect. As I was saying, though, it's been an odd schedule for Richmond. They were jam-packed, lots of travel for Darren Sawatsky's side. Complimenting his all-black outfit with a black raincoat. And now they're not even playing on weekends. They didn't play last weekend. They play this Wednesday. They don't play next weekend, but then they play Wednesday after that. And it's against Omaha again, so which is very odd. But one fun thing about Richmond's schedule and Tormenta's schedule for that matter is on October 1st, these two teams will meet again and will be opening up Tormenta's new palace as this ball bounces across. Has to get cleared out by Stuart Ritchie. Fitzgerald wanted to let that go. Probably could have fallen on top of that and guaranteed no corner kick, but it's all on the spur of the moment. You can't always think things entirely through. Service dips down, headed away. Here's Toby Otieno. Talking a lot about Union Omaha, a former Omaha player from last year. And we're gonna get another corner kick after it deflected off of Ethan Bryant. As Gabriel Cabral looks for a Select ball. Select is celebrating its 75th anniversary. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL League One. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, league's choice, player's choice. Bryant, the one who deflected that out for a corner kick, is the one who will knock it away. Nembard will chip it back up into the air. Looks like the offside flag would go up, which will keep Adrian Billhart from making a run. As we get this one going again. Tormenta also didn't play on the weekend, but they did play last Wednesday, so it's only been a week-long break, which you wouldn't call a break because a week between games is rather standard. Of course, usually that's weekend to weekend, not Wednesday to Wednesday, but ultimately it works out the same way. Bryant gets checked down by Adrian Billhart. They won 2-0 on the road at American Legion Memorial Stadium against the Jacks. Ian Cameron said the reality is we were fortunate to be up 1-0 at halftime. We scored early, and we were on a short week, so we started thinking a bit conservatively. We didn't create chances, and Charlotte looked dangerous. Nembard heading that long ball away. It was the first thing we saw today, that long ball to Bolaños, and I'm certain it won't be the last time we see it. Second half of that match between Tormenta and Charlotte, though, Ian Cameron said we were stronger, we were comfortable. We didn't allow as many chances, and then we put it away with a good second goal. As Billhart makes his way down the pitch, Keziah Sterling tried the shot, but Nathan Ani wasn't going to let it go too far. We do have another corner kick on our hands, though. Let's look at the replay, brought to you by Greenswell Pub Growers. Nathan Ani, the two center backs today, paired up with Jalen Crisler. With a couple of hesitating steps. Not a bad ball, headed away. That was a seeking effort. And it'll be a deep throw for Tormenta. Otieno not going to be the one to throw it in, though. Otieno with it now. He'll tap it back. Mataney couldn't keep control of it, but it still falls to Sterling, who gives it back to Cabral. Cabral out wide to Akale. One-on-one with Ritchie before he gets some help, but he's still going with it. Akale goes to the ground. And this is a point to the spot. Tormenta with the chance to take the early lead. Mukwele Akale gets tripped up. Catherine McCormick blows her whistle and levies her judgment. look at it again on the Greenswell Growers replay. It's Mukwele Akale one-on-one with Stuart Ritchie. Jonathan Bolaños comes in. It's Bolaños who takes a stab at it. And so Adrian Billhart, who has 4 goals this season, looking to make it 5. And Tormenta is 2 for 2 from the penalty spot this season. Akira Fitzgerald stands in his way, just 5'11", but a savvy veteran keeper. It's Billhart, and it's 1-0. Tormenta, the Road Warriors, once again up top.
Tormenta goal scored by number 10, Adrian Billhart in the 10th minute.
The Union Berlin Academy product with his 5th goal on the season. Didn't have to play last Wednesday, so he is fresh and ready to go. That's gonna be a tough one to save, even if you guess the right way. Had a lot of velocity on it. Gets an embrace from one of his newer teammates, Mukwele Akale, who drew the penalty. It's just his 3rd appearance and his 3rd start for Tormenta since being acquired. And together their efforts have given the road side a 1-0 advantage just 10 minutes into this game. Offside flag's going to go up, calling the Argentine Emiliano Terzaghi. Well, if there was one team in USL League One that going down early is the least worrisome for, I would probably say the Richmond Kickers. Just a very unflappable side, a lot of veteran presence, guys who have been there before. So we'll see how they respond here for the rest of this first half. See if Tormenta keeps their foot on the gas. Worth noting, only the Greenville Triumph have scored first more than Tormenta this season. And as we see here though, I didn't have the number in front of me, but I suppose the eye test definitely checks it out. That's the most points salvaged from conceding the first goal, the Richmond Kickers. Sometimes opinions and stats do line up without looking at the other. Talking about this Richmond side, 3-0 victory over Omaha a week and a half ago. Darren Swatsky talking about that game said that you've got to play ugly at Omaha because you can't really play your game on their pitch with how narrow it is. But when you get on a bigger field, there are ways to open up the Owls. But he also acknowledged that Akira made some big saves early on in that one. And then they got the job done after that. Very important win on his part. And for the Richmond Kickers, if they want to get that #1 seed or just to get one of those top 2 spots, a bye into the USL League One playoffs, which will get going in late October. So crucial to not only get points, but get 3 points over those teams that are vying for that spot with you. Omaha currently sitting top of the table. Doing so in very unlikely fashion. We'll touch base on it at halftime. Jake Dangler wearing the headband today. A little bit more visually appealing than how he looked last Wednesday. Got hit in the face and almost looked like a mummy out there. Here's a Daney. Still going with it. Fawada Daney. Able to cross it inside, but it'll end up going out harmlessly for a goal kick. long break for Richmond coming into this one. A bit of an eventful training week for Tormenta. Take a look at Darren Sawatsky once again. Needs to make some adjustments now, given his team's down a goal, but they're not a side to completely change what they do, given just a 1-goal difference. So Tormenta, their training this week has been a little bit eventful. A lot of rain has doused their typical training pitches. And Ian Cameron, as we get a look at him, said that the practice fields were underwater, so they had to use the pitch at their new stadium, which was the first time they had the chance to work with it. It wasn't planned, but I guess they got a taste of those new grounds and what it'll play like, which is always nice. Ian Cameron said it got the job done and it was handy to have the space. Terzaghi into the middle, pinged away to Dangler. She's gonna blow rather quickly here from Catherine McCormick. Giving a word to, looks like Josh Phelps. Scouting out this Tormenta side, Darren Sawatsky mentioned that they've added a lot of attacking pieces since the last time they met. He mentioned due to injuries early on, they had to force Keziah Sterling into form. And he said it's kind of worked out for them because now Sterling is clicking and he's smooth in all of his endeavors. He mentioned, and on top of that, now they have a lot of guys who can run at you and really hurt you on the counterattack. He said we'll have to slip behind them. I know for me, the moment I heard him say that, Jonathan Bolaños is the first name that pops into my head. Of course, he's not the only one who's capable of doing that, but he is a savant in that nature. Meanwhile, for Tormenta, Ian Cameron said, I think this is going to be an evenly matched up game. He's confident his side could cause some problems for Richmond. Now he sees the side with the early 1-goal lead. Of course, courtesy of a penalty, but hey, they all count the same. He said that, I don't know how it wouldn't be an entertaining match. So that Richmond are a much better team when Bolaños is healthy, because then you don't have to just focus on Terzaghi. So they'll have to be careful on that right-hand side for Bolaños and stay focused for the entire 90, because, and this isn't something just Ian Cameron has said about Richmond, but this is a Richmond team that can sort of lull you into safety, thinking that everything is fine, and then they'll pounce on you. And this is an Ian Cameron trademark. He says they're like a spider in that regard. Now we'll see if this Richmond spider, which is, not sure if Ian Cameron thought that deeply into it, but coincidentally works out. They can bite. This will go out for a corner kick. There's the Red Army. Ever present this season. As we get this WW Nash and Sons Incorporated corner kick. Chance for the Richmond kickers to respond against Tormenta after an early Adrian Bill Hart penalty. It's Ethan Bryant. Cross comes in, still bouncing about. Zaka Moran was trying to get onto it. Here's Ethan Vanacore Decker to Nil Vinyals. You know he can curl in a nice pass. Richie. Headed across the middle. And TJ Bush is able to get his hands just above the Argentine. 6 foot tall from Herndon, Virginia. It's a little bit closer to home now. He's able to get the job done there over not only the Golden Boot leader, but USL League One's all-time leading scorer. Here's Toby Otieno. Trying to find a Kale over there on the right-hand side. Now it's Bolaños. That's a good ball forward, but the flag has gone up, negating that run. Uh-oh. They don't want that. Now this is getting a bit theatric. Terzaghi is going to get a yellow card for that last say on the matter. I do think it wouldn't have been too shocking had Phelps gotten a yellow card for initiating that little debacle, but it appears Catherine McCormick will not do so. Yeah, that's going to have to get drawn all the way back. I don't think that's further back enough, but needless to say, here's the drama unfolding. I don't know. I think I take back saying yellow card, but it is a bit unnecessary from Phelps. Here's Bolaños. Here he comes. He has no help. His teammate took a tumble. Bolaños trying it himself. And that'll roll all the way out for a goal kick. Now the ref's going to indicate a corner kick. I'm not sure where it made contact with the Tormenta player. Things getting hairy here as Gabriel Cabral is going to get his 4th yellow card of the season. So Bolaños, guess it could have clipped Josh Phelps right on impact. That has to have been what it was. The yellow card is still out. Cabral's already been given the yellow. Is there anybody else that's about to go into the book for Catherine McCormick? Surveying her players. So we've got 2 yellow cards to Tormenta, and then 1 of them withdrawn. So Cabral is not in the books. And it looks like Jake Dangler, and then I believe that's Deshaun Nembard who got the other one, but we'll confirm that with you once we get absolute confirmation. But that is my first impression from my vantage point. But first, a WW Nash & Sons Incorporated corner kick. This one will go short. Vinyals. That was sniffed out by Tormenta. Bilhart has to be careful. Just jostling through some traffic. He's able to keep it alive, though. Here's Nembard. Nembard still going with it for Richie. He's able to slide in and knock it out of his clutches for just a moment. Will be a Tormenta throw.
Yellow card was issued to Tormenta number 25, Jake Dingler, on the 22nd minute.
Nembard gonna get the offside flag. So it was Nembard who got the other yellow card in this one. Got the broadcaster eyes. the drama we've already seen 25 minutes into this one. And got to buckle up for some more skirmishes as the night goes on. These are two aggressive teams and teams that aren't going to let the other team boss them around, that's for certain. Though I wouldn't say there's really any side in USL League One right now that's a foldable side. Everyone's got a little bit of edge. It's part of what's made the league so compelling this season. I mean, just look at the table. We've heard the drumming, we've heard the chanting. When you think of the conditions, you may get concerned about fan turnout. Weeknight, some rain that's also led into a weather delay. Maybe even some people maybe considering staying home just to watch the Open Cup final later. And yet here we are. It's fantastic. They broke their attendance record. Nearly 5,000 people last time they played. And Darren Swatsky said that the Red Army is just amazing, and we've got a new generation of people here coming to games, and they're also pulling back some old fans to become regulars again. And sure, there's a lot of benefits that come with that, but maybe one that's a little bit overlooked is the fact that when you're a young player and you're trying to develop, it's another dimension that is so good for young players to have that support. And the flag's gonna go up. Stephen Payne's offside, well offside for that matter.
Was also issued to Tormenta.
It's good to simulate having big crowds, because if the goal is to make it into the upper echelons of American soccer or even abroad, you're going to be playing in front of some big crowds, maybe some not so friendly. Of course, here at Richmond, they love their kickers, so it's not too big of an issue when you're at home. And that spans even outside of the game, Darren told me. He said that players are going to grocery stores and getting, hey, you're Terzaghi, and stuff along those lines, turning into local stars. He said that the guys deserve it. They work just as hard as players in the MLS. Don't think just because you're in the third division that wouldn't be the case. So there's an awesome little anecdote that we got to hear from Coach Sawatsky on that front. Here's Cabral. Still going with it, Cabral. And gets dispossessed by the other number 8, Ethan Bryant. Moran with the long ball forward. Maybe a little bit too long, looking for Ethan Vanacore-Decker. I think it's pretty easy for a guy like Emiliano Terzaghi to get recognized with all the contributions he's given the kickers these past few years. I mean, if he isn't getting recognized by locale, then I wouldn't think anybody across the league is. I talked to Ian Cameron about how do you slow down a guy like Terzaghi, and he said it's a tough craft. You got to keep bodies on him deep, and then he said that you got to make sure that the outside backs don't lag when Terzaghi is trying to cheat forward and the center backs step up. Because if the outside backs keep him onside, then the effort that the center backs are doing is not only null, but it's sabotaging them. It's just putting them steps behind Terzaghi when he makes those runs. He also said this: I've emphasized to my team to not freak out when he scores, because you can check all the boxes, do all the great defending you want, but great players make plays and score goals, and you can't let it get to you when that happens. Ian Cameron was confident that this Tormenta team has the ability to score a couple goals here at Richmond. They've already got one. Of course, when you have guys like Bolaños and Terzaghi and company on the other side, you can't be comfortable with a 1-goal lead. Although shouting commands, I know Darren Sawatsky, not a man to lose his cool, at least not lose his confidence in his side despite down a goal. Stephen Payne. Making his way forward. Or deciding to chop it back to Jalen Crisler. So a third of the way through this one, the difference is a run by Mukwele Akale that got taken down by Jonathan Bolaños, called a penalty. And Adrian Billhart converts it from the spot. An absolutely confident finish on his regard. Really had fire singeing off that ball with how much pace he put behind it. It's a good thing that the nets are damp right now from all the rain that have been coming down here in Richmond. With that in mind, 1-0 is your scoreline. Tormenta, a team so good on the road, continue to show that grit here for 30 minutes. Still a long way to go, though. Kicks from Richmond, nothing from the free kick category. They scored off a free kick against Omaha, a rather craftily designed free kick, passed along the outside of the traffic that Union Omaha had built up. I wanted to talk to Darren Sawatsky about that free kick and whether they design set pieces for particular opponents, or is it more just a bag of tricks that you develop throughout the season. Before we get into that, here's Tormenta. Ryan Sierakowski trying to make the run, and it'll go out for a Tormenta set piece instead. Talking about one side, get the other. So we'll hold on that discussion as we wait to see who, if anybody, will go over there to take it. And it looks like Mukwele Akale will come over from the right-hand side to take this left-hand corner. Cross. Here's the service in. Headed towards goal, but it just goes over top. Not a bad look from Tormenta. They got the look they wanted. Here he is again on the Greenswell Growers replay. Yeah. That's pretty much everything you could have asked for. You got the header. Just lacked that finishing execution. Look at Phelps jumping on that pass, taking it forward. Efforts were good up to that point. And he's going to draw a foul. He better be careful. Yep, he's going to get a yellow. His 7th yellow card of the season, Josh Phelps. Wasn't able to play last game due to a red card suspension. Did well all the way up until that pass, and then at that point, you're trying to make up for a mistake and doing it rashly. Josh Phelps, though, 6'4" center back. Talented center back, of course, but has developed a bit of a reputation for his card accumulation. Bolaños able to split defenders. Now Ethan Vandercourt Decker takes the shot, trying to catch TJ Bush off guard. It'll end up being nothing but a goal kick. But the kickers are biting. Here's another peek on the Greenswell Growers replay. That is taken from well out. Greenswell Growers, correction. going to be a foul in favor of Tormenta. Ref not playing advantage there, even though it fell to the feet of Toby Otieno. Gabriel Cabral slow to get up. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, USC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Dangler, roll it all the way to the left. Made quite a trip down the pitch to Sierakowski. And then it'll make its way all the way back to Jake Dangler, who will launch it down the pitch again. Go figures. Nobody there this time, though. I was talking about set pieces earlier, though. Talking about Darren Sawatsky's perspective on it. When I said, is it something you draw per opponent, or do you just develop a bag throughout the season? And he said it's a little bit of both, but the fact of the matter is you have to understand your opponent. And he says that he understood how much Jay Mims emphasizes and prepares his team defensively. As Keziah Sterling is moving. I'll play it back to Cabral. Cabral down the pitch to Akale. But instead it's in the hands of Akira Fitzgerald. We found their aggressive tendencies in the box, Omaha, Sawatsky said. He mentioned that we knew potentially that the free kick that we scored on could come handy. He said we just have we have a collection of those throughout the season. As here's Terzaghi, who'll take a shot, and that one sails much too high. Some space in front of him along with Ethan Vanacore-Decker to his right, but it's tough to question when Emiliano Terzaghi opts to shoot. You never know exactly what he's gonna pull out of the hat. It's just the beginning of week 24 in USL League One. Just a little over a month left of regular season action. It's going to be madness for the rest of the season before we get to the playoffs. Here's Billhard. He's able to hold it in play. Back to Akale. Now Nembard. Inside to Sterling. He let it run. And it's still pinging about. Danger. Or it's cleared away by Stephen Payne. Had to do so hastily. Had Brian Sierakowski breathing down his neck. And here's Tormenta again, Cabral. Will put it on himself, and that's easy for Akira Fitzgerald. Billhart is able to keep that in Tormenta's favor. Now Akale already drew a penalty. Still going with it. Proving to be apt at the ball at his feet as we continue to learn about this guy, 25 years old. Just his third appearance for Tormenta. Here's Sierakowski, still on his feet, gets hacked at by Moran. Ref says it's all good. Some physical defending, and Jake Dangler, who is familiar with that, will retrieve the ball. Halftime coming up. We'll take you through the action from Saturday. It's Billhart. We'll tap this out wide. It's Sierakowski cutting inside and running into his teammate Cabral. Certainly not the ideal exchange there. retain possession. Sterling not able to get to that back heel fast enough. A couple players taking a tumble. Ethan Bryant drawing the foul off of Ryan Sierkowski. Kickers will quickly put this one back into play. 5 minutes plus whatever added time to go. Despite a couple cards, it's been mainly a smooth sailing first half of action, so I wouldn't anticipate too many minutes being tacked on. Of course, I've been wrong before. Some refs are a little bit more liberal with their application of added time than others. Bolaños is able to get inside, but then has to veer out to collect the ball. Services it into the middle. No one's around for it. That is a tantalizing ball rolling across the 18, and no kicker within its vicinity. Nembard will pop that one forward for Akale. Ani is doing his best to guard it off, but Akale proving to be a bit of a pest. Just 5'4", harassing the 6'4" Nathan Ani, has a whole foot on him. And there's Sterling winning the ball back. A lot of room to work with. Keziah Sterling had 2 assists last time these two teams played. Look at that ball to Bill Hart. That ball going across is just behind his man. The follow through goes off the frame. Toby Otieno looking to rip that one in. Let's take a look again on the Greenswell Growers replay. Not sure if that was looking for Sierkowski or if it was intended for Otieno, one way or another. That is a tempting ball from Toby Otieno, and he nearly puts it in to make it 2-0. Instead, we're going to get a corner kick. Maybe it grates the hand of Akira Fitzgerald as well. Here's the service, and the header couldn't get over top of it with Sierkowski still in the fray. And then Terzaghi goes down, courtesy of Keziah Sterling, and now some choice words are being exchanged. Jalen Crisler not happy with the push. We're back at it again. Your scoreline. We've been having some fun here. A lot of action. Bolaños. Look at that ball slipping through to Terzaghi. It's Terzaghi going forward. Josh Phelps to the rescue. TJ Bush nearly staring down the barrel of a gun. Luckily, his teammate was there to alleviate him before it got to the dangerous part. That's a dangerous moment, and one that Terzaghi is going to wish he had better awareness of. You're not going to get too many moments where you get set free right down the gut like that. I'm sure if he knew of what was bearing down behind him, he would have let that one fly just a couple moments sooner. As we get our Greenswell Grower stoppage time. Just a minute tacked on. Only another chance or two for these two sides to share. And Sierakowski wants it to be the away side. Akale, who's done so well today. Billhart with the back heel. Looking to connect with the aforementioned Mukwele Akale.
One minute additional time.
Flag is going to go up and keep Terzaghi from having to go at it, but it was a pretty far ball. I think TJ Bush would have been able to let it bounce into the 18 and clasp it. Halftime content is coming your way in just a moment. A lot of fun here. There will be your halftime whistle. The difference in this one, a penalty drawn by Mukwele Akale early on in the match. And then going to the spot, Adrian Billhart with utmost confidence is able to rip it past Akira Fitzgerald, who dove the wrong way, to make it 1-0 in favor of the visiting side, Tormenta. As we see the Richmond faithful who came out despite the rain that put this game back 30 minutes. And there is Adrian Billhart, the Union Berlin Academy product. The man who made it happen. With that in mind, we're going to step aside for halftime, brought to you by Simplicity VOIP. We'll give you news and notes. We'll cover the highlights from Saturday, and we'll touch base on some of the other talking points around USL League One. But first, we've got a couple of messages. We'll see you on the other side here on ESPN+.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
Hi, I'm Megan Mack, President of Prospect Blue.
And I'm Jess Barnes, Director of Business Development at Prospect Blue.
Prospect Blue is a staffing and recruiting firm headquartered right here in Richmond, Virginia. We serve the Mid-Atlantic region and beyond.
With the labor market experiencing historic shortages, Prospect Blue is here to help companies attract and retain key talent.
With strong relationships in the corporate, financial, legal, and medical fields, we are in a unique position to connect employers with job seekers. Whether you are a candidate seeking a new career opportunity or a company searching for talent, Prospect Blue will help you ensure that today's transitions lead to growth and success.
Prospect Blue is proud to be a corporate sponsor of the Richmond Kickers. Go Kickers!
Halftime is brought to you by Simplicity VOIP. Tormenta and Richmond fans, you can't just watch your own team every weekend now. You got to keep up to date on everything that's happening in League One as the playoffs get closer. If you missed any of the games on Saturday, here's Ryan Rose to catch you up on all the talk and fuss.
4 matches in 4 different time zones on Saturday night. We'll start in Greenville hosting Madison. 17th minute after a near turnover, Derek Waldeck up to Nico Brown, who scored a really nice goal on Star Wars night right here, similar to that one. That's his second of the season. Matthias Cassini gets it down to the end line, crosses Nazim Bartman's head, puts it in. 4th for him. 1-1 to the half. Second half, 69th minute. Jesus Ibarra, nice through ball up to Jacob Lavovitz. Raiko Rosarena's out of his box, so an easy touch for Alan Gavilanes. That will be the 4th goal for Gavilanes, 2nd assist for Labovitz. 2-1 Greenville, but you know, Madison has been doing this a lot of stoppage time magic. A little scramble in front after a header hits the bar. Mikey Maldonado slips it ahead to Jeremiah String. It got awfully quiet, 90 plus 5, 7th for String, and that's the 6th draw in 10 meetings between these two teams. That's tied for the most draws in the series history in the league. Omaha, Chattanooga, 1 hour later, end of July. Chattanooga scored first. Omaha drew in stoppage time. Well, not much dissimilar to this one. Mo Espinoza, 23 yards out, his 5th of the season over Rashid Nuhu's 3 goals in the last 5 matches. And then in the 60th minute, Corey Herzog knocks down and kicks Aaron Lombardi, or tries to kick the ball and kicks Aaron Lombardi. That's a red card. So Omaha down a man, down a goal. 88th minute, Joe Brito up ahead to a streaking Luis Heel. There's the pass. Here's the goal. His first in the United States since 2015 with Real Salt Lake. A huge goal. 10-man Omaha is now going to draw and get the point. Well, I thought they were going to get the point here. That's what the last chance here, and Rashid Nuhu just sends it down the field, headed by Ricky Rivera. Ahead, the volley by Dion Akoff. His first, also his first in the U.S. Unbelievable. 10-man Omaha has scored 3 goals in the last 2 games. Northern Colorado hosting North Carolina. A big night. This is Lachlan McLean on the assist from Arthur Rogers. Rogers' 8th assist is now 1 behind Jonathan Bolaños for the league lead. And the signature box, the corner flag for Lachlan McLean, his 4th of the season. 31st minute, McLean now involved on the assist side, sends it ahead to Trevor Ammon, and there's the goal, 2-0, and then Rogers serves a header to McLean, but that's saved, and then Ammon there to clean it up. 3-0, Ammon with 2 goals at the half. 79th minute, Ammon to Jackson Dietrich. He's fouled in the box, so they'll put Ammon at the spot for the hat trick. And despite Will Pulisic getting a finger on it, maybe part of the hand more than a finger, Ammon, his hat trick, the first for Northern Colorado. 89th minute, Olex Anderson fouled in the box by Wolfgang Prentice. So that'll put McLaughlin to the spot. That's a consolation goal, his 11th and 4th PK. But Northern Colorado wins 4-1. Last match of the night happened out in Tucson. Tucson hosting Charlotte. Both teams coming in winless in their last 3. Tucson has not won at home yet. 39th minute, Donnie Toya out wide to Kalen Fox. Fox slips it across. Toya just missed it. Clipped out by Tarn Weir, out to Fernando Garcia. Dribbles, scores, and then you see Weir jumps out of the way, so it's not offside. 2nd goal for Garcia, and Tucson gets its first home win right before fireworks. And that ends a wild night in week 23. More halftime coming up.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Trying to take down their rival. The legend has done it again here in Sacramento. He's turned the whole game around.
It's a
goal for Orange County SC, and their first of the season.
And that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship final.
At Greenswell Growers, we combine innovative technology, sustainable practices, and a passion for local. With a commitment to plants first, we have unwavering standards for growing products that yield the best taste in order to create the happiest customers. Because everyone deserves access to clean, safe, nutritious food. Little Greens, Big Heart. Learn more at greenswellgrowers.com.
The Jamaican Malik Foster. The Panenka, absolutely disgusting. Plenty of times. Saved by Viniello. Rodrigo Lopez. It's improbable. It's indomitable. It's another cup set.
Sacramento Republic looking to make some history tonight. Coming up at the top of the hour, they play Orlando City on ESPN+. So after this game is done, flip it right on over, or maybe do a little dual screen action for that tiny little overlap between these two games. Meanwhile, Union Omaha, 10 men, no problem, have scored 3 goals despite being down a man in just this past week alone, which is enough to put them at the top of the table with those efforts. I mean, they should just play with 10 men if that's the magic that they're working with. As we look over to our team of the week, no one for Richmond, of course, because they didn't play last week. But we do have 2 members from Tormenta, both Jake Dangler and Toby Otieno, along with Trevor Ammon, who scored the first hat trick in Northern Colorado hailstorm history. And, I mean, it's the 4th of the season. Impressive endeavor. He's been good this season. He's just been a growing star in USL League One. Now, as we look at our scoreboard from last Saturday, we did just see the highlights, but in case you missed those, this is what went down. A lot of action in the table. You can't just keep an eye on your own team anymore. And here's a game you may want to tune into if you're a fan of either of these teams, of Tormenta or Richmond. It's Charlotte versus Greenville. They've only met one other time, and this will be their first official match at American Legion Memorial Stadium, though the two teams in the previous years have scrimmaged each other. So it's not an unfamiliar road trip for Greenville, nor is it an unfamiliar matchup between the two sides. But Charlotte, in desperate need of some points, need to get it at home against one of the best teams in the league on paper at this moment. So be sure to tune in on Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern as we get all these games spread out across the 3-day weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have got League One soccer. Should be a lot of fun, all the way from that Charlotte-Greenville game to a scrappy Tucson-Omaha match, 10 o'clock Eastern on Sunday night. Going to be a lot of fun. We got highlights and stats coming up after this break. We'll see you then on ESPN+.
Welcome to Royal New Kent Golf Club. Designed by world-renowned architect Mike Strantz, Royal New Kent's a one-of-a-kind Irish-style golf course located 20 minutes east of Richmond, Virginia. Royal New Kent was featured in Golf Week's top 100 public courses in the country. Hidden behind grassy knolls and hand-stacked rock walls, each hole offers several playing options to fit a wide range of abilities. Visit RoyalNewKent.com or follow us on social media for more information on tee times and rates. Remember, come to Royal New Kent Golf Club to Golf Ireland in Virginia.
We would not have a business today if it weren't for the support of the many, many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the UCROPS brand stands for.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with a provider today.
At Greenswell Growers, we combine innovative technology, sustainable practices, and a passion for local. With a commitment to plants first, we have unwavering standards for growing products that yield the best taste in order to create the happiest customers. Because everyone deserves access to clean, safe, nutritious food. Little Greens, Big Heart. Learn more at greenswellgrowers.com.
Welcome back to the tail end of halftime, brought to you by Simplicity VOIP. It's 1-0 in favor of Tormenta as we look at the highlights, brought to you by Simplicity VOIP from the first half. It all started in the 10th minute when Mukwele Akale gets jabbed from behind by Jonathan Bolaños. Then Adrian Billhart will take his stead for the penalty kick. And woof, just rips that over into the right netting. Kira Fitzgerald, I mean, can't really do too much about that one. 1-0 in favor of Tormenta. And from then on out, we wouldn't find any goals, but we would see some chances, including Jonathan Bolaños teeing up Ethan Vanacore-Decker, who will shoot from well out of goal, trying to see if he can catch the younger TJ Bush off his mark and unprepared. And here are the halftime stats. Tormenta with the better of the shots on top of having the goal lead. Richmond with a little bit more possession, but that's a little bit more of their MO. And we looking to convert and create more chances here in the second half of action. Tormenta, though, worth noting, have not lost a game when leading at halftime since May of 2021. So it's been over a year and some change since they've last lost a game like that. And here we go. Let's see if Richmond can sway that. Currently 73 degrees in Richmond, Virginia. A little bit of rain pushed this game back 30 minutes. I would apologize for those who are planning to watch the Open Cup game, but you can't control Mother Nature. Not much that can be done about that. But what can be done is what these two teams have adjusted coming out of the dressing room. How much do you change when you're down a goal? How much do you change when you find yourself up a goal? Because you know you've got to still make your adjustments, even when you have the advantage, because you know the other side is going to. Billhart will make his way inside. Not on the same page with Sterling. Now Ani will run that one down the pitch, trying to find Bolaños. The accuracy is lacking. As this game wears on, you just begin to start peering at number 32 for Richmond more and more. As Bolaños may be looking for him now. Here's Ethan Bryant. Bryant decides to roll it himself, and ultimately a lackluster effort coming off his foot. A rolled shot for TJ Bush will not go too far. Here's a look at it again on the Greenswell Growers replay. Bolaños is just tees it off for the youngster in the midfield. Bush will loft this one back into play. Emiliano Terzaghi, 14 goals this season. It's hard to go a conversation with Richmond coach Darren Sawatsky without bringing up Emiliano Terzaghi with just how fantastic he is. Ryan Sierkowski makes a move. It does some damage to Moran. He'll take the shot, and it's off target. Talking about Terzaghi, Darren Sawatsky said that the man is just a machine. And the bigger the need we have for goals, the more he steps up. And then even when he isn't in goal-scoring form, he's contributing both on and off the field. And then in a little bit of a personal touch, he said, I mean, he loves the guy. He's like a son to me, Sawatsky said of Emiliano Terzaghi. That long ball to Bolaños from Ethan Vanacore-Decker. There's Vignoles. He'll get it to Bolaños. A lot of Tormenta players around him. Looked like that came off of Akale. And it did. It's going to be a corner kick. And Cameron, his team got a ton of corner kick reps last game against Charlotte, including 10 in the first half. he said, well, we got the repetitions, but it's also indicative of how well Charlotte played out wide. He mentioned Richmond can do the exact same thing with guys like Bolaños. Look at the corner disparity, though. Tormenta with the advantage in that regard. 5-4. Counting this one. As Bryant puts it in on the WW Nash & Sons Incorporated corner. And that one off into the sky. TJ Bush, just his 5th League One appearance. Has 3 clean sheets thus far, and is sitting on 4. Of course, I imagine a lot of mayhem will come his way before he can claim that one. Both coaches donning monotone outfits today. It's a serious game. Daney will take the trip down that left-hand side. Phelps pass with a minor disruption from Bolaños, but it still got to his target, only for the next pass to roll to Stuart Ritchie. Also see what these two teams will do when they dig into their bench. That's something that's been a big factor for Tormenta as of late, their depth along with their bench, as Bill Hart wins a corner kick for Tormenta. Cabral will make his way over there to see if they can do some damage on this set piece. In the 10th minute from Adrian Billhart's the difference maker. Tormenta looking to pad that advantage. Cabral, ball comes in. Sierakowski could not keep that one in play. Makes a difference having depth, and Cameron mentioned. Came in last Wednesday off the bench, he was talking about, and were able to secure the win with the second goal. Guys like Kingsford Ajay coming off, or coming on from the bench and scoring a goal. As Ethan Bryant, with some space, will zip it down the pitch to Ethan Vanacore-Decker. Now here's Payne. Payne across the middle. Back heel from Vinyals. Bryant takes the shot and it'll skip wide. And it's another corner kick for Richmond. Good build up there from the kickers. Going all the way down the pitch. And some inventive moves. Gave Bryant the chance to give it a look and earn the corner kick for his side. This WW Nash & Sons Incorporated corner kick. Bryant to take it. Bryant with the service. Still up in the air. Players jostling about for it, and Jalen Crisler being a little bit too handsy, tugging on Josh Phelps on that occasion. So it'll be a free kick for the visiting side. Have player rotation really helps with maintaining legs for your players. Ian Cameron was discussing. And it pleases him to see guys like Adrian Billhart get both physical and mental rest, did not have to appear in the victory over Charlotte last week, and has gotten to start and has been running about today. When we are fully healthy, it's going to lead to some hard decisions. That's what Ian Cameron was saying about his side. Moran doing well to body away Billhart. Here's Ethan Vanacore-Decker. He'll win the throw. Hard to course, part of the job is to tell a guy who's been working hard that he isn't in the 18. That's the last little bit on that comment about depth from me and Cameron. Only get 18 spots, it's tough. Bolaños sends that one forward for Terzaghi. Terzaghi with some space, and Terzaghi with the finish. Richmond draw it up at 1. And it's goal number 15 on the season for the Argentine. He's the X factor. It's an even game once again. Look again on the Greenswell Growers replay. And assisting him, of course, is Jonathan Bolaños. His 10th assist of the year. So the assist leader providing the goal scoring leader. And with a bit of a celebration, Terzaghi and Richmond back up level. It's his 43rd USL League One goal, his 44th as a kicker, given the fact he scored against North Carolina Fusion earlier this year in the Open Cup. Moran will head this one out. Harry said earlier, when they need him, he shows up. I mean, 43 league goals in 3 seasons. That's a lot of showing up. And that only puts him further ahead in the Golden Boot race. Already has himself quite a comfortable advantage. Oof. That's a hefty check from Sterling. Bit of a miscommunication between Ethan Vanacore-Decker and Stuart Ritchie. But now a chance for Richmond with the goal to take the reins on this one and start thinking about 3 points. Tormenta need to conjure up a response in these next 10-15 minutes. Talking about Emiliano Terzaghi, the assister on the play, Jonathan Bolaños, assist number 10 on the year, also in the lead in his category, of course. And talking about Bolaños, Darren Sawatsky raved about him and said that, I mean, first off, he stuck it out this offseason. Could have left for somewhat greener pastures before the year started, but instead decided to hone his craft here in Richmond. Thinks, well, now Bolaños just isn't a naive player anymore. And he's ready to move up once the season concludes and could even make it to an MLS camp. That's what Darren Sawatsky thinks, and he's a guy who's got an MLS eye. He's worked in those circles. So, but now he can take the end of the season to really put a cherry on top of his resume. And if you're making plays like that, scouts' eyes are going to be raised. Here come Richmond again. It's Ritchie to Terzaghi, and Terzaghi pops it. Not enough dip. And I think the offside flag was going to negate it anyway. And indeed, that is the case. There is Bolaños. Just a phenomenal player. Kind of watched him grow year after year in League One. He's been a notable player for Richmond, but has really, really come into his own this season and has just looked the part. 24 years old from Miramar, Florida. And the craziest part about it is he has 10 assists in just 15 appearances. So he has an assist in 2/3 of his matches. He also has 4 goals on top of that, so if you average it out, that's nearly a goal or an assist every game. If you round up, it is. Ethan Vanacore-Decker, whether he intended to or not, is able to keep that ball in play, or at least he didn't intend it to go that way. But it got the job done. Terzaghi gonna let Stephen Payne run. He just gets bodied by Fawad Daney. It'll be a Richmond throw. Well, I said it earlier, when Richmond went down, if there was a team in the league that can handle it, it's the Richmond Kickers. Madison got their 10th game-tying goal on Saturday against the Greenville Triumph. It was in stoppage time late in that game. They had to tie the game up on 2 separate occasions on that night at Legacy Early College. And now Richmond beating them on that front with 10 on the season. Moran lofts it in the air, punched away by Bush. Not the cleanest transaction. It's going to be a free kick. Cabral bemoaning the contact it made with Catherine McCormick there. A tough shake, but the ref's got to be somewhere. We're going to get our first substitution.
Departing the match, number 19,
Wayne Gordon,
Ethan Vanacore,
an impact sub coming off the bench, will take Ethan Vanacore-Decker's spot. Just a wrecking ball out there on the pitch, Wayne Gordon. 30-year-old from Montego Bay, Jamaica. And this is a James River Orthodontics
This is
substitution.
your last call for adult beverages. All sales stop after the 70th minute. Last call for adult beverages.
Our first of the night, certainly not our last. Adaney down the pitch for Sierakowski. It'll fall to Sterling. Sterling with a lot of green surrounding him, and I'm not talking about grass. Here's Adaney. Back to Sterling. In the center, in a pocket of space for Cabral. Now Otieno, he can shoot, and he tries to. It pings around. And now Adaney. And that one a bit aimless in its efforts. Here's Akira Fitzgerald, who will distribute the ball for the Kickers. Some newfound life here. A goal in the 55th minute. And it's the most predictable connection in League One. Jonathan Bolaños to Emiliano Terzaghi. Otieno winding about. Here's Akale. Akale still with it. Drew the penalty in the first half. Sterling goes down. Terzaghi, the one bodying him. Possession just pinging back and forth between these two sides. They both want it. Dangler gets there just before Bolaños. Turn from Sterling. Otieno with it. Tormenta. A lot of their pieces looking to throw another goal at Richmond. Adaney with a good cut, but then he leaves the ball behind. It'll get cleared away. He did the hard part and then left the ball behind. Now we're going to get a Tormenta substitution.
Tormenta substitution.
Alex Morel is going to come into the game for Ryan Sierakowski.
Sierakowski.
So Morel, the longtime Tormenta man, of course, with a brief sabbatical to Greenville there in the middle. Back with his side. He's one of the original members and, of course, the first ever goal scorer in League One history. This substitution brought to you by James River Orthodontics. Morel can't keep that one in play. A lot of old faces and new faces on this Tormenta side. When talking to Ian Cameron about these new pieces like Mukwele Akale, Mutai Mwape, who's on the bench, former kicker, by the way. Maybe we'll see him later in the game. And then a healthy Keziah Sterling. What difference does it make for this team? And Ian Cameron said, well, let's start with that last point, which is a healthy Keziah Sterling. He gives you that X factor to change games. I mentioned Terzaghi is like that as well. Talking about Terzaghi in particular, he said he scored in that Northern Colorado game a couple of weeks ago in which the Hailstorm played better, but Terzaghi made the play. As Otieno runs down the pitch, looking for Sterling, their own playmaker. He said Richmond can play more defensive because they know Terzaghi can just make things happen as he goes down. No foul called. He can do his magic in transition, but he's on the grass. He's clutching his face. Here's a look at the collision on the Greenswell Growers replay. It's that left arm from Josh Phelps. And it may have even been the elbow in particular, which would be the worst part of the arm to receive contact from. Some animated instructions from Darren Sawatsky. A lot of in-depth hand gestures. You can only do but so much from the bench. Sawatsky talking about recognizing moments, recognizing the proper set piece to take. He said that players recognize when a situation arises for a certain play and you have to trust them. That's just culture. He said player-coordinated teams are better than coach-coordinated teams. I mentioned Ethan Bryant in particular when talking about on set pieces that he knows what he's doing. These guys know what they're doing. You know what they see. Of course, though, when you get a stoppage moment, it's always nice to have a coach's voice ring in and give you his input from the sideline. Bolaños taking that one away. Still going with it. And then Cabral pokes it back, only for Bolaños to win it back just temporarily. That's what a lot of this game has been. Just scuffles for the ball between players. And a moment of recognition between Bolaños and Cabral, just well fought. That's just two players who both want the ball and have the ferocity to fight for it. Sterling, and they get smushed to the ground by Moran. Sterling, wide-eyed, I think looking for a card, and he'll get his wish. Zaka Moran with card number 8 on the season. The holding midfielder who does the dirty work, as Darren Sawatsky has described him as in the past. He won't get the goals or the assists or any of the fun stuff, but you need a guy like Moran on your team. Akale. Still with it. Akale, so shifty over there. He's already won his team a penalty with moves like that. Stuart Ritchie, more privy this go around. We're getting a hold up from Catherine McCormick, and that's because we've got 2 more substitutions coming in. Barry Sharifi.
South Georgia substitution.
Chris Heckenberg.
The match number 12,
Sean Nembard will come out.
Number 21, Christopher Heckenberg.
And then Adrian Billhart will come out for Sharifi. These substitutions brought to you by James River Orthodontics.
Departing the match number 10, Adrian Billhart.
Sharifi's a guy that Ian Cameron mentioned could prove to be helpful in this Richmond game. He says he's got the tools to make a difference. Now he has that chance to. Sterling trying to just slice that through to Kale. And he jars some space for himself. Instead he pops it off the head of Vinyals. Did it stay in play? No, it did not. June 4th was the last time these two teams played. It was an exciting 2-2 draw. When it comes to team growth from that game, of course, a lot goes by, a lot changes game by game. I think even if two teams played one night after another, those are different teams. Of course, after a lot of time, they're going to be much different. Gordon plays it to Vinyals. Through to Bolaños. Bolaños, it's saved. Well engaged by Bush. And now Tormenta will get a free kick. A chance for Bolaños to put his team ahead, but TJ Bush, he smelt trouble. And so he found his way to the point. Great ball from Vinyals. It's two teams that have adopted different philosophies at handling things this season. According to Darren Sawatsky, he said that for us, it always starts and ends with building culture. He says when things go wrong, we like to look internally. And so we're not a different team now than we were June 4th when we played Tormenta. We're just a better self. He said Tormenta, on the other hand, they've acquired some pieces. They've gone out and searched for players, and there's no right or wrong way to handle it. They're just two different ways. And I mean, when you've picked up guys like Bukwele Akale, then I can't say that that's a wrong decision. He's been very good tonight. Let's see if Richie could keep this one in play. He can. Richie making the run. Can he get by Phelps? He throws it to Bolaños! And Richmond with another goal in the second half. Ripped the lead from Tormenta. Jonathan Bolaños, provider and a scorer. He may not be in League One much longer, but he's going to leave his mark while he's here. Goal number 5 on the season for the Floridian. And Stuart Ritchie will log up his 4th assist, making the run and puts that right in the pocket. And Bolaños, all he has to do is get the job done. It's all there for him. Like 12 yards out from goal. And he was clinical. A product from High Point University. I said earlier, he had 14 goal contributions in 15 games. Now he has 15 in 15. As we get another substitution brought to you by James River Orthodontics. A defensive substitution now. Ethan Bryant coming out for Vincenzo Candela. He can help provide some stability to this Richmond side as they look to see this one out. Right now, the kickers sit at the top of the table, of course. The likes of Greenville and Omaha also play this weekend and will beg to differ. Here's Bolaños again. Can't get it past Josh Phelps. Can Tormenta fire a response? Otieno is able to get by Bolaños. And then Bolaños with the tackle from behind will give Tormenta a free kick. Well, I sung the praises of the resiliency of this Richmond side went down a goal. Tormenta have proven that they've got what it takes in adverse situations. I mean, they've done so well on the road. Ian Cameron said it. We just have that DNA. I jokingly asked him if this was a side that would prefer to play on the road if they make the playoffs, as Owen Green comes in for Toby Otieno. Also, Mataya Mwape will also come in for Mukwele Akale. Mwape, a former Richmond kicker, played for them in 2019-2020. These substitutions brought to you by James River Orthodontics. Owen Green, the other substitution. Let's see if they can leave an impact. Ball couldn't get past Chrysler. Mwape will see this one out. Just kept in play. How about that effort? And it's Jonathan Bolaños again. He does it all. Green into the 18, headed along and headed away. Phelps making some moves. Now it gets switched over. Cabral took all of his effort to get his foot on the ball. Couldn't really bring it in. Now Wayne Gordon will dash down the pitch. It's still Gordon. Heckenberg is able to step in. Mwape. To Heckenberg. Out wide to Alex Morel. Under 15 minutes and out of time to go in this one. I think we still have some excitement coming. Whether that be goals or not remains to be seen. Bush will have to chest it down. I jokingly asked Ian Cameron if they'd prefer to be on the road for the playoffs. He said, we're not going to test fate by trying to place 5th or 6th, which I certainly wouldn't recommend. He said, but we're willing to play anybody, anywhere. And he said, plus, if we do get home games in the playoffs, the new stadium is going to feel like an away day anyway. So the staff has done a great job to make road games as accommodating and comfortable as possible for his guys. So it's a team effort, not in just the 18 and the 11 on the pitch and the coaching staff, but everyone involved. As Sterling dashes forward, gets taken down, and it's gonna be a free kick just outside the penalty area. Jalen Chrysler is gonna be counting his blessings. Gonna get a yellow card. They're gonna give it to Nathan Awney. Maybe he was the one on the foul, actually. It's Awney's 7th yellow card of the season. And we're gonna get a free kick just outside the 18 as we look on the Greenswell Growers replay. And it was Awney, not Chrysler.
Richmond number 24, Nathan Awney in the 78th minute.
Cabral put it on goal from here. Bets would be on Cabral, but I haven't seen Mwape pull anything out of his pocket before. Maybe he's got something sneaky. Approaching the 80th minute. And Tormenta level it from a dead ball situation. It's Cabral, and it's saved. He put it on frame but it's not challenging enough for Akira Fitzgerald. Pops that one out of danger's way. Now it's Sharifi. He'll get it back. Sterling now. A lot of bodies between him and goal. Plays it outside to Morrell. No one makes the run. It's headed away. Now it's going to be a foul on Tormenta. Stephen Payne going to the ground. So let's take a quick trip back on what transpired. First off, the free kick. Cabral's look. A lot of pace behind it. And of course, you've got the wall obstructing your view, but Fitzgerald more than prepared. Payne still slow to get up. 25-year-old defender. There's the collision in question. Not a lot from Adani there, but ultimately a player's hurt, so you don't want to stop play, but I'm not sure if I'm too keen on anything being wrong done there by Adani. But nonetheless, 10 more minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Richmond looking to hang on. Tormenta look to fire back and at least find a leveling goal. And then they could start thinking about a winner. Crazier things have happened, including in Tormenta games. Gordon getting clipped up and lets out a yell right after impact. And that's a yellow card to Fuad Adani, who was just called for the foul moments ago. It'll be his 5th yellow of the season.
Yellow card issued
Wayne
to
Gordon
Tormenta, number
flushing
20,
his left leg
Fuad
right around his shin.
Adani in the 82nd minute.
Let's look at it again on the Greenswell Growers replay. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. It's also worth noting, Richmond, next time they'll be out will be on the 24th. It's Hispanic Heritage Night. There'll be some Latin and Hispanic dance troupes that will be coming out to perform. Some salsa will also be making its way around. Should be a lot of fun. It's the penultimate home game for the regular season for Richmond. I know they have aspirations to host some playoff games as well. But 2 more guaranteed home games for the Kickers. You know that they're going to come out in throws to support this side. Here's Gordon. He's able to win a goal kick there. That was Alex Morrell. How many more chances to Tormenta have coming up on the deck? Despite being down 2-1, when you look at expected goals, Tormenta has the 1.23 to 0.52 advantage. Though I will say, Usually expected goals tell the story, but I mean, those 2 goals scored by Richmond were pretty standard goals that when they get into those spots, they're going to score them. So I question the 0.5 expected goals in this game. You get Terzaghi and Bolaños into ideal spots. I'm not going to claim to know how expected goals crunch all of their numbers. Usually they're pretty accurate though, but I will say it in this case, I don't know if it applies as well to telling the story of this game. Richmond has done really well here in the second half to create quality chances, and they've been clinical with them. Vinyals. Lovely ball forward to Gordon. Owain Gordon into the 18 with a stumble. Still going, he goes down. Maybe a little bit too much acting there for Catherine McCormick's taste. Wape will play it back. Vinyals goes down. No clutch his leg, but play will go on. It's Jonathan Bolaños. Looking to put a nail in the coffin, but they will get a corner kick. Nope, they're going to say it's a goal kick. Must not have glanced off of Sharifi. I'm not sure if he said Owain or over there, or maybe it was both. But certainly, your lip's going to move differently when you say the name Owain as opposed to most names on the pitch. Certainly not as plosive a name as some of these other guys on the pitch. Sterling and Terzaghi. 2 magic makers between the 2 of them. Here's Morel. Working his way to the border. And that one rolled a lot further than one may have thought at first. Now Adaney. Next with Sharifi. Getting tangled up and going down is Cabral. It's another free kick for Tormenta. It's another quality spot for the visiting side. Cabral put a decent effort on goal the first go around. I'll get another look at it here. Should Tormenta opt to let him get another take. It's a Greensville Growers replay here as we see Candela just getting tangled up. He immediately pleads innocence. He won't get it from McCormick. And it's the same 2 hovering over the ball again. Mataya Mwape and Gabriel Cabral. Calm down now. Jake Dangler and Nil Vinyals having some words. Move the ball just a little bit further back. That's what the ref's saying. I wonder how often a ref gets to wear red here at City Stadium. Obviously, it's been common this year, but probably not seen too often in years past. It's Cabral and Mwape. Cabral takes the shot. Not a bad-looking ball, but too high on the effort. So it'll remain 2-1 for Richmond. The reigning title holders visit in-state rivals as the USL on ESPN2 continues. Orange County SC looks for a late-season surge against Sacramento Republic FC Sunday, September 18th at 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. And I'm sure Sac Republic are excited for that game, but they're a little bit busy with bigger fish to fry at this very moment. Almost at halftime in that one with Orlando City in the US Open Cup final. Scoreless. So once this game concludes, I urge you to go over there and watch it. If you're watching this game, then I imagine you can watch that one too, because it's also on ESPN+. How do you like that? All in one place. I know I'll be tuning in. But don't go just yet. We could see some late game drama here. Both teams are capable of it. You wouldn't want to miss out on that now, would you? Sterling crosses half field to Sharifi. Play it out wide right if he wants to. Now he can't. Sterling. How about that physical check from Vinyals? Just being more enforcive than his counterpart. And then hopping on the back of Chris Eckenberg. And that's where that praise for enforcing comes to a halt. Physical to a point. Now we'll wait to see how much our fourth official tacks on. As we reach 90 minutes, and we got 7 more here on the Greenswell Growers stoppage time.
7 minutes out of time.
A League One eternity, if you will. Eckenberg. Over to Cabral. Chance to service it in. He'll take it. Sterling was wide open, but it didn't connect with him. It was cleared out by Chrysler for a throw. Owen Green providing the service. The Red Army. Front row seats to the action here. Throws flicked in. Pinged right back out. Owen Green has the ball again. Green inside and to nobody. It'll be a goal kick. 1 minute of the 7 has gone by. Luke Pavone will make his way onto the pitch for the Kickers. This substitution brought to you by James River Orthodontics. And the tying goal scorer, Emiliano Terzaghi, will make his way off the pitch. Also a candidate for Player of the Month for the month of August. Luke Pavone will make his 8th appearance of the year. Been around the block here in Richmond. He's spent the past few years with the Kickers. It's his 4th year. He's a grinded out guy. I remember talking to Darren Sawatsky about him last year and about how fiercely competitive Luke Pavone is. Eckenberg. One holding the ball now for Tormenta. That's a good ball from Morel. Sterling gets tripped up and will draw another free kick. The visiting side quickly retakes it. And that's not to the approval of Catherine McCormick. They just want to get things going. Vincenzo Candela getting a yellow card. That's his 4th of the season. Cabral to the right-hand side, and that's just kept in play. Adaney will head it back to the top of the 18. It's still popping about. Eckenberg. Adaney can't keep it, and Payne will clear it. And a whiff from Dangler will give it to Vinyals. He's trying to find Pavone there, but it gets back to Dangler. 4 more minutes to go. Mwape to Sterling. Now Hackenberg. Tormenta are gonna have to break down this bunkered down Kicker side. Sterling stabs the ball back. Will he be the one to make it happen for Tormenta? It won't happen there, Moran. As firm as a brick wall, and coming the other way, it's Luke Pavone. And he's gonna take it to the corner. They'll set up camp. Josh Phelps will get that one out of there. Able to fend off a smaller Luke Pavone, only for it to be given away to Bolaños. Bolaños still going. Bolaños around the keeper. And good night. Jonathan Bolaños makes it 3. What a performance from him tonight. A superb player and a fantastic performance in 90-plus minutes for Jonathan Bolaños.
Yellow card issued to South Georgia at number 02 for a push in second half stoppage. Earlier, Richmond yellow card issued to number 99.
He's looking for a cherry on top this season, and he's just put the icing on the cake on tonight's 3 points over Tormenta. Here's a look at it again. Owain Gordon with some physicality, helping him win it back, and then it's just Bolaños on Bush. Not much the keeper is going to be able to do about that one. Bolaños with the speed, the know-how, the composure. He's the man. Appearances with the Des Moines Menace before his senior year at High Point, so got some USL experience before finishing college. Then he came over to Richmond and has just been brewing for these past few seasons. And now he is just one heck of a soccer player. 24 years old. I already said it once in this broadcast, but I'll say it again. Soak it in, not only Richmond fans, but League One fans. He's not going to be here much longer. Gordon is able to escort it around and get it to Candela before it gets cleared away. Sharifi across to Mwape, who persists. Minute to go left in this one. Ball swings back inside. Here's a Daney. A Daney will let it rip. Back to the top of the 18, and then Vigneault clears it away. Well, if they were going to provide an improbable comeback, they would have had to score right there. Saracen Cabral headed away. And they'll keep at it till that final whistle. But it's Richmond tonight. An impressive performance. Adaney. That one did not stay in play. I didn't think it was going to be a corner kick. And actually, this game is just over. The Richmond Kickers with a 3-goal second half. All courtesy. Nope, it's not over yet. The players started walking off like it was done. We'll get the whistle here in just a second. Just the classic psych out there for you. Pretty much over in spirit, though. And there's the final whistle. Second half, 3 goals performance from the Kickers, all courtesy of Jonathan Bolaños in some regard. And it is a fantastic night at City Stadium. And as you see there, the Kickers love playing in front of the Red Army, and they deserve to. Great fans, lots of wins, great pitch, and a heck of a performance against Tormenta, who are good on the road and have only scored in this game because they got a penalty. Kira Fitzgerald doing his job today as we look at our save of the game, brought to you by Impossible Pups. And it's this effort. Not a bad look from Gabriel Cabral, but Akira Fitzgerald more than up for the task. He's amped about it. This is a good win for the Kickers. And is it obvious? Your man of the match, brought to you by Cater, Jonathan Bolaños. 2 goals, 1 assist. What a player. Again, you just got to appreciate how brilliant a player Jonathan Bolaños is. He's got the pace, he's got the lethal touch, he knows where to run, how to cut, he can shoot, he can provide. And with that, when the Kickers win, you win with Drive Shack. And look at them celebrate over there at the Red Army. They came out, even though that it's a weeknight, the weather wasn't ideal, but Kickers fans, they don't waver when it comes to watching their team play. And you can watch our post-game thoughts here on the other side of this break. We'll see you then on ESPN+. 3-1, your final score.
We would not have a business today if it weren't for the support of many, many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the UCrops brand stands for.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
At Greenswell Growers, we combine innovative technology, sustainable practices, and a passion for local. With a commitment to plants first, we have unwavering standards for growing products that yield the best taste in order to create the happiest customers. Because everyone deserves access to clean, safe, nutritious food. Little greens, big heart. Learn more at greenswellgrowers.com.
As we welcome you back to our post-game coverage here, the Richmond Kickers with a mighty second half win 3-1, courtesy of Jonathan Bolaños. 2 goals, 1 assist to get things going to Emiliano Terzaghi. And a good night for the Red Army as we take a look at our post-game highlights to wind everything to a close here. It started with a penalty drawn by Akale. It's Bolaños right there. I guess you could say he was involved in all of the goals in some way or another. Of course, he'll want to forget about that one. Adrian Billhart rockets it over to the right-hand side. Can't take a penalty much better than that. So much pace, so much heat. 1-0 for Tormenta, and you think, wow, the Road Warriors strike again. But Richmond in the second half, they were just a different sauce. Jonathan Bolaños tees up Terzaghi. And you know when he has space inside the 18, no matter what the angle, what the position inside the penalty box, Terzaghi can tuck that one away and put it right where it needs to be just out of the reach of a keeper like TJ Bush. And then they kept pouring it on. Stuart Ritchie with a wonderful assist here. Bolaños points to that spot. He gets it at that spot. When you ask for the ball and you get it right where you need it, you better put it away, but you really have any doubt when Jonathan Bolaños is the one behind that ball looking to take it. What a performance from him. And he would not be finished. He'd get one more before the night was over. Owain Gordon, thank you very much. I'll take that ball and then let this guy do the rest of the work. Jonathan Bolaños just skirting around the keeper. He is just a man on a tear right now. I don't want to sound like I'm gushing too much, but the guy is just so good at the sport. As we look at the stats, pretty split as far as every number but that goal difference. And I have to apologize to Tormenta fans a little bit. Maybe gave you a little bit of a classic commentator's jinx at the beginning of the first half. It's the first time they've lost a game after leading at halftime since May of 2021, which is what I mentioned right before the kickoff of the second half. So you have my apologies. What can you do? I guess that's just part of the job for me. You got to throw out those stats when they come your way. And look at that, top of the table, the Richmond Kickers, of course, for now. They'll be rooting for Omaha to lose against Tucson, and they'll be rooting for Greenville to lose on Friday against the Jacks. which are both possible. It's League One. Anything can happen. So they could still be at the top of the table come the end of the week. But as you see here with the slate, it's not all the way certain until Sunday night. Past midnight, most likely, for you East Coast fans. And that will do it here. For our entire broadcasting crew, my name is Mark Schoenster saying thank you for tuning in. If you're a Kickers fan, you got to wait a week to play Omaha. If you're a Tormenta fan, they turn right back around and play the Hailstorm on the weekend. So you'll just have to tune in there on ESPN+. We'll see you on Friday when things get going and continuing in Week 24. But until then, hope you all have a good night and tune into the Open Cup match.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.